Okay, now if you listen to that song, you can tell that it gets us into some kind of a somber mood. It is a sad song. It is a song that is talking about the victims of the bomb blast that happened back in 1998. With studio right here, we have a singer who is also a victim, who was a victim and is a survivor of the bomb blast 25 years later. Introducing Caroline Muthoka. Caroline, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Tell me about the song that we just listened to, because it is such a sad song. If we listen to it and the graphics in there, the video, it is quite, you know, sad. So if you can just tell me a bit about that song, Poleni.
Okay. Thank you for having me here. It's been a long journey. I was working on cooperative building, 19th floor, and I was 7 months pregnant when the tragedy occurred. I was a computer programmer, and I can say all the programming stopped then. I went to look on what was going on, and immediately I glued my face on the glass. That's when I was blown back, and I was flown to the ground with so many cuts on my belly, so many on my hands and on my eye. And I was bleeding, and I knew that was the end of my life. The building was shaking, I was bleeding, but a colleague called Lilian Ngeno called me, Caroline. I said, let's pray. We only said, Mungu tusaidie. And then we waited there for a colleague that is called Ezekiel Kingori that went to look for a helicopter to pick us up. Up to today, we are still waiting. But she pulled me and we went to the stairways. Every part I stepped, I was stepping on a dead person. If you missed, we were being pushed down. I held on the stairway rail. So when I was pushed, I would just fly like 2 steps and then step on somebody either screaming, Mama yo ngai, all the languages. But I managed to go to the ground floor. When I got there, it was filled with water. And as I walked, the issue of death came out of my mind. And I managed to get to Nairobi Hospital. Lucky Baraka was born after 2 months on October 7th. So the Poleni song that you're asking, victims have been struggling since 1998 up to date. We were given assistance for 3 years, and then all the aid was dismissed. The target of the tragedy was the American government, and so as victims, we were caught in the midst. The American government and the Kenyan government has not been assisting us. So the song Poleni, I was singing to my fellow victims to tell them, even if we are struggling, one time God will hear our cry and God will bring people who will support us. So many people have died. So many are in hospital. We have funerals arranged and the victims are suffering. So Poleni is to tell people, to encourage everybody. Even though we've gone through this, God up there looks at us, at our scars. So many people died on that day.
Yes.
Their children are not in school. So that's to tell them, Poleni sana, Mungu yuko nanyi. And now we are seeing the hand of God.
Yeah.
We have reached out to the Senate. We have formed a consortium organization that brings all the victims together. And we approached the Kenyan Senate, and they've now come to our aid. And now they're approaching the Congress, the American Senate, so they can all work together and see if we can be helped. But as I cry for myself, I always cry for the victims. Yeah. That's why I tell them, Poleni.
Okay, now, if you may just take us through how that changed your life. From that day that you've just explained to us how things happened in 1998, how did it change your life from then on?
My life has been like a roller coaster. It's up and down, moving up. I found myself living in America. We went there after we voiced out for the victims. And other victims in America saw us crying, and they invited us to go and have a peer counseling. So we went there, and they came to Kenya to speak to all the victims and tell us that they've gone through the same, and we can all support each other spiritually. And so, because of all the cuts that I had, I needed medical attention. My son also needed medical attention, and they invited me to go to America. And when I went there, I started life there. I know back here in Kenya, people think life in America is so easy. It's very tough. Okay. But my life now became like I'm always on the move. I had glasses taken out. I still get so emotional. I can't stand anywhere with noise. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of sometimes anger. Mm-hmm. So life has been so tough. Yeah. And dealing with this has not been easy.
All right, Caroline, unfortunately, there's an event that we're supposed to be going live to, but just before we go to it in Machakos County, you can just tell us about the event that is happening so that at least people know about the event that is happening on Saturday. Very quickly, unfortunately, we have to wind up.
Okay, on Saturday, we are praying for all the victims, and all the victims are coming to the Bomb Blast Park. Mm-hmm. We have a park there, and the Senate, the ad hoc committee will be there listening to our cry. So I invite all the victims to come on Saturday, August 5th. We are starting at 10. Kindly be there so we can share our experience and the life of the journey we've had. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. So many ministers will be there to perform.
We have so many. Yeah, we have Pastor Tumaini, we have Evelyn Wanjiru, we have Kasolo, we have Kwata Kawaya, we have Solomon Mkubwa, we have Margaret from America, and our MC is Daniel Maingi.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show. It's unfortunate that we just have to cut it short. The president is in Machakos County at the Konza Technopolis, where the award of charter to the Open University of Kenya is happening right there. We should be heading there.